Why were you crying?
Oh my gosh, I saw the well, we didn't even see.
Overwhelming.
We didn't even see,
It's
but I saw the
overwhelming.
logo and I went, that's my name, Snow White's up there, and I cried my eyes out.
Like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag.
She's just not the fairest.
Wrong.
Welcome, you groovy ghoulies, and have I got a fun-packed podcast for you today. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, episode 25 is an inaugural edition because it has a brand new title. So going forth, hence, this podcast will now be known as
The Cringe Apocalypse with Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog. Go ahead, make his day.
And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, their hair is making a comeback. It's in semi-retirement at the moment. I'm just letting it grow under my really badass trucker cap. And if you know what film this cap comes from, a big kiss from me to you. Well, especially if you got big tits. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the first story for the week. And this had me in hysterics and a little bit of revulsion at the same time. So Castlevania is a beloved franchise from Japanese video game creator Konami. And I have played Lords of Shadow, not all the way through, but having read this article, I definitely want to reacquire that game again because it's a hack and slash. Patrick Stewart and Robert Carlyle, I believe, lend their thespian voices to the proceedings. So Netflix have a Castlevania animated show, but according to Niche Gamer, and this is not the only article I'll be featuring from them today, they are absolutely hysterical, these guys and girls. Netflix Castlevania mocks a beloved video game franchise. And you see the thumbnail there? It's pretty telling. So it's spanned 4 seasons. I have to be honest, I have not watched a single episode. Some people have said it's really great, and others who are heavily into the lore of Castlevania are just been turned off by it. The series thoughtfully picked up the events of Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, at its starting point. Well, as its starting point, an era with ample potential for creative storytelling while staying true to the timeline. See, key phrase there. However, this seemingly promising journey took an unfortunate turn, straying far from the essence of Castlevania. From the very first episode, it was evident that the show's direction missed the mark and instead left a skid mark, disappointing those who truly admire the authentic Castlevania experience. As a sequel series approaches this September, following the Rondo of Blood storyline, hopes were high that Netflix had learned from its past mistakes. Regrettably, the showrunners chose to double down on deviating from the core elements that make Castlevania special. Of course, if you're going to double down, why are you doubling down? Because of ESG. That nonsense. Thanks to Larry Fink from BlackRock, or should I say Black... No, I can't say that actually, but you know where I'm going with this. Offensive character redesigns. The above artwork slides are supposed to be the same character. So we're talking about these first 2 iterations, but she's now become this. Why? Why? If it's Castlevania and it's Dracula, there is a certain, how shall we say, dichotomy. Netflix's bold attempt to adapt Ayami Kojima's revered work has faced criticism, especially concerning Annette's transformation from a Victorian-esque alabaster-skinned maiden to a dark-skinned, dreadlocked tomboy. Wow. Again, folks, legacy media. Go and buy the video games, play them, revere them, keep them. But of course, the cringe keeps on coming because, after all, this is the Cringe Apocalypse podcast. So still from Niche Gamer. Oh, God. The Fable remake. I love how they've got remake in... well, it's been highlighted, shall we say, has seemingly just now reached the eyes and ears of Japanese individuals. And I will put up a screenshot of the current dislikes to likes ratio for this trailer. The Japanese users have shared similar sentiments from the previous trailer regarding its atrociously bad and out of place character design. Well, I'm not going to include Richard Ayoade in it because I'm a big fan of his, so his design is fine. It's just the main protagonist here, good grief, yeah. Serving as another example of the video games industry, well, in the West especially, being obliviously out of touch with fans and intent on destroying the medium with a biased political agenda. The Fable remake trailer earned a high amount of dislikes when it was released 2 months ago. It felt longer than that, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously. I mean, look at that. Would you actually think from hindsight that's a woman sat there? Of course not. I'd actually think that was an actual masculine dude. I know some people have commented on the large hands, and that's actually quite true. That is a very bad hand design. So apparently these are translated from the Japanese what fans think of Fable. I'm assuming Fable is a popular IP in Japan, or if it's not, I mean, if you look at Japanese game design, it's just a world apart from here. We used to have good games back in the days, folks. I was one of those guys in the mid-noughts when it was a Friday. I'll take a break from work, go to my local WIT gift center, to the game store, check out what was new, and it was a great time, ladies and gentlemen. Games back then were about £30, £30 to £38 per game, but you were just so buzzed, you were so excited, and now you just don't really give a shit. I got a friend of mine, he specifically bought a PlayStation 5 to play God of War Ragnarok. Why would you, when he race swapped Agraboda for a black-skinned version who is actually 3 times as annoying as any other protagonists in that game. And also to play the new Spider-Man game where they've dramatically aged Mary Jane Watson by 100 years while the Spider-Man still remains young and youthful. Oh, and then you got Miles Morales. I don't know why he's popping along. Maybe he's just a guest star in his own game? Who knows? So what these Japanese fans have said here is, foreigners consider this to be a beautiful woman, therefore it's amazing. If Link from Breath of the Wild, Zelda, had this kind of face, I'd immediately throw my Switch out the window like a frisbee. I can only see the face of a bastard. It feels like a face that was beaten over and over again with the Pirikoro stick. What? I don't know what that is. I think that's the thing that Zelda uses. The true form of the feminist is that of a Chinese spy. If taken seriously, sales will plummet. So, don't consume China's lewd games and monopolize the share. Seems to be some game cockroaches worship. Androgynous like ugly. Looks like the feces of one of the... It looks like the feces of one of the background giants in Shengenkai no Kyojin. Isn't this a man? What? Is this the heroine? It gives me hope that even an ugly guy can become the hero. I could go on and on, ladies and gentlemen, but you get the drift. I think the narrative has spoken for itself. You know what? It doesn't even end there, because Starfield is coming out in 2 weeks' time. And I'm just going to show you a bit of the trailer from the beginning here. And honestly, I mean, Bethesda, I know they're known for their occasionally woke nonsense in their video games. Fallout 3, there is a character who is half man, half woman. I kid you not. How is that even possible in this day and age? You're either a man or you're a woman, or if you're going to go trans, you still have to assign yourself to one specific gender. You can't have both genders, although technically transgender is both genders, isn't it? So have a quick look at this introduction for the official live action trailer for Starfield, and then you'll get my reaction. Jeez. Right, I'm going to have to stop that here because I just realized that's Rocket Man, sung by a female. There you go. So do you know what I mean? You could just have a little kid running out to meet this astronaut who's about to go on their epic journey into space. But, you know, it's just Bethesda with the ESG nonsense, forcing it in there. Apparently, according to Pete Hines, this was not his idea. It was a third-party marketing company that went along with this. But of course, I'm pretty sure that third-party entity, whoever they are, were given all these notes, and ESG is definitely there. So I'm going to still play the game. From what I'm hearing about early reactions to it for behind-the-scenes playthroughs, people are loving it. They seem to be really blown over by it. So yeah, I'll definitely give it a shot for sure. I do like Bethesda. They made some great games, but this is the way forward, folks. Just shoving diversity because it means everything to me. Of course it does. And speaking of doubling down on diversity, Disney CEO, but for how long, you wonder? Bob Iger says the company is working to improve the quality of their films. Really? By reducing both the number of titles they release and the cost per title, which we've already heard before, ladies and gentlemen. It's nothing new. Do we actually care about what Disney thinks? You know what? I was a hardcore Disney fan, even as a wee little nipper. In fact, you know, one of my fondest memories of Disney is the Chip and Dale cartoons. I used to love watching those when they dropped on a Sunday or a Friday evening on the BBC. It was so fantastic, and I always felt at that time that Disney was it could never do no wrong. Like as soon as you see that logo and the Disney castle at the beginning of any feature film, you know, you got really excited. Even an American friend of mine, she's based as hell, she even had this to say, and she's a hardcore Disney fan from the very beginning.
And as far as Disney, let me just make something clear. Disney is a shit company. It is straight up a shit company. I know it's a shit company. I do believe in the magic. I believe in just being able to go there and literally just crawl into that bubble. You're a kid again. You know, that's what I love so much about like going to Disney World. Would I want to work for Disney? Absolutely not. Zero. And they, you know, are trying to dig themselves out of a raging hole and recover billions of dollars. Good luck to everyone.
I'm not the only one echoing their sentiments, okay? Other people are saying it. They've seen the wood for the trees. And if you just scroll down this article from Bounding into Comics, well, here we go. Riri Williams, Dominique Thorne, prepares to take off in Black Panther, Wakanda forever. And I guess that series will crash dive like General Perogin's plane. Was that too early to say that? Rest in pieces, General. Well, come on. I mean, if he was on that plane, he's not coming out in one piece, is he? This is not the A-Team. Remember that, folks. So, oh God, Ahsoka. Yeah, I'm actually downloading the first 2 episodes, so I'll hope to drop you some quick reaction videos this weekend regarding this show. It looks terrible. Queer stories strike back. This almost sounds like they're riffing off The Empire Strikes Back, Heartstopper, Red, White and Royal Blue, and Bottoms lead a new surge of LGBT content. Wow. Can't wait. Oh my God. I'm so excited. Ugh. I mean, that's all you really need to know, isn't it? And Variety magazine ought to be ashamed of themselves for pushing this because nobody is interested. I mean, can you imagine finishing work for the day? It's like, oh, darling, I'm going to go and watch Red, White and Royal Blue. Do you want to join me? Or do you want to watch Bottoms? She might be getting confused with, don't you mean Bottom with Rick Mayall and Ade Edmondson? No, we don't mean that base TV show about 2 lone gentlemen who just, well, it's kind of like the demented version of Waiting for Godot. That's probably the best way to phrase it, actually. But the reason why I've headlined this article, because Amazon, and I mentioned this during the week, it joins Disney with the woke cancellation. And of course, I've just mentioned this show. Again, actors who could do better. Of course, A League of Their Own, that really pretty good film with Tom Hanks and Madonna and Gina Davis. They've pretty much taken all the good things out of that and turned it into something completely reprehensible. And it's on Paramount as well, which is so bizarre. I'm coming to Paramount in a minute, actually, with something that I've noticed for a while, but I didn't think it would actually interest me that much. So Lioness is this show that stars Zoe Saldana and Morgan Freeman, who's probably reading off an teleprompter at this moment in time because the guy has forgotten how to act now. But the reason why I'm going to give this series a chance, because it's Taylor Sheridan. You remember him as Hale Jr. from Sons of Anarchy. He's also the man behind Yellowstone and other hit shows, including obviously The Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. But it's got a 7.6 out of 10 so far. And I think I'll give this a chance. I mean, again, you see Zoe Saldana. I don't mind her. She's a pretty good actress when she's got the right role. But I get the impression that it's girl boss with guns and the special ops. Of course, women do serve in the army in specialist roles. Not denying that. Not shitting on it. But it's Taylor Sheridan, so I'm going to give the trailer a quick look and see if it makes you want to watch it. But from what the people say here in the comment section, and Michael Kelly's in it, one of my favorite actors, who could have been a dead ringer for Burt Reynolds in the Zack Snyder remake of Dawn of the Dead. But I'll talk about that film during Halloween. Right, let's check out this Special Ops Lioness trailer, courtesy of Paramount Plus Original.
Close?
Closer than we've ever been.
Hang on a second. Is that meant to be... Is that Nicole Kidman? What the hell is happening to this woman's face?
Lioness, sir.
We locate the wives and daughters of these high-value targets.
You made it! Told you I was coming.
And we place an operative close to them. And we kill the target.
All right, so they're rescuing women held against their will? I think that's how I'm interpreting this. I might be wrong.
If we play this right, it is over before it's begun.
There's really no means to abort.
We'll get her killed and expose the entire program.
Our asset is embedded. We don't have the ability to call her off.
Wait, move now! Her cover's low! It's that core, shoot it!
So we're just going to pretend that a CIA quick reaction force did not execute a kill mission in front of CBS News.
Walk us through your decision to call the drone strike.
She was dead either way.
Michael Kelly is a really, really good actor. I really like this guy. My God, I'm glad he's still getting work. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's a face to end all faces. I mean, God, Nicole Kidman used to be so beautiful once. Now, what has happened to her? The way she's going to end up looking like Bella Ramsey. And you don't want that pairing together, do you? Can you imagine those two as mother and daughter? Ugh.
You need to remember what you're fighting for.
Yeah, so people have said to me, this is a pretty good show. The cinematography is beautiful. The acting is first class. Nicole Kidman doing what Nicole Kidman does best. Morgan Freeman just reading off an auto cue. So I guess it has all the ingredients to make me watch it. People are saying nice things about it online. The comment section in YouTube is very positive. IMDb, it's very resounding. There goes my phone again. So on that one, folks, let's go to the final story of today's podcast. It's, of course, my girl, Rachel Zegler. I think she's the one who boosted my YouTube channel. So, you know, I've got to say this again, and I've said it before. You know, she says that she's getting bullied online now from people who've hated her comments. Or actually, she's saying that she's getting bullied because people don't like her as Snow White. Yes, initially, the casting of her as Snow White is terrible. You just know why. But if she just zipped her cake hole up, which is something I often say to my mother on a day-to-day basis, Mum, shut the cake hole. Honestly, she might have done herself some favors here. But of course, the Daily Mail mic drop with the 7 dwarves obviously didn't really help matters that much, but she appears to be responding to Snow White criticism by sharing videos from Lady Gaga, or a Lady Gaga fan account, where she's attacking men. So there's a video of Lady Gaga in a leotard going into a bathroom and saying F you to men, in the mirror. It's kind of amusing. And Gaga, well, she's never managed to hold a relationship, has she? She's kind of like a demanding diva. But it's kind of funny with Rachel. Oh yeah, now this is a photograph of the Hunger Games prequel where she plays Lucy Greybeard and Tom Blythe as Coriolanus Snow. And yeah, so look, so is this meant to be male masculinity going forward, ladies and gentlemen? It's a bizarre design, isn't it? He just looks like a steroided version of Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But honestly, Rachel Zegler, you know, she's just very amusing. Yeah, and you know what? If she wasn't insufferable, if she wasn't coming out with things like, oh, we've got to be kinder to each other, and then blocks people who call her out in the first instance, she's just making herself look more and more insane. She's just discrediting her own reputation. Fans are falling foul of her. They don't like her anymore. And you can't honestly blame them, can you? And you know what, Rachel Zegler, just keep coming out with the hits, love, because honestly, the more cringe you come out with, the more that yours truly on the Cringe Apocalypse podcast will keep making these videos. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a packed edition today. I will dissect this video like a surgeon's knife on Nicole Kidman's face. So, if you were me, and if I were you, and you've got a dog named Blue, and I don't know what to do, but you want to like, you want to share this video, and honestly, look at me looking at you on the next episode of the Cringe Apocalypse.